I know I say this every week, but it's true, isn't it? This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Those regular listeners, and we know there are millions of you now, will know that at the end of our discussion about a particular sin, we have to consign two individuals or organisations to the sin bin. We're gradually building up a whole team of sinners now, and when we finish the series in the next programme, we'll be picking some kind of, I can't imagine what it's going to look like, some kind of Sinners 11. So this week's sin has been dishonour, and you've heard how Simon particularly has made that what he means by dishonour. The list of people who might go in the sin bin here is almost too much. I suspect you'll go right to the top of the tree.
I will indeed. Easy Blatter, straight out of the gate.
Yeah.
Guardian of the game. I know he's been moved aside and marginalised now, but he had it too good for too long, and he has to, and is going into our sin bin.
Okay, well, I'll go a little bit further down the pyramid of sinners, and that is that guy Steve Dale, who had Bury in his ownership, and whatever the circumstances, ends up with Bury being thrown out of the Football League after over a century of membership. And the reason why I'm picking him above all others is because of an interview I saw him doing on the BBC. Of course, all radio interviews are filmed these days. And there he was, bold as brass, large as life. When he finished moaning about the way the football community was dealing with him, and you've already given me the background to that, Simon, as if to say, well, really, that is pretty rich coming from him. But the moment when he said that he didn't really have much interest in Bury and that he had never even been to the football ground was the moment I took a real visceral dislike to him. And not because of anything personal about him, but because of what he represented. Those groups of owners, people who come into football with no regard for the community, the history, or the future of the football club. So Steve Dale, I'm taking you as an example of the kind of thing that I think is a virus in the game, and you're going into the sin bin. And before we get stuck into this week's sin of dishonour, last week we were doing the sin of lying, and we asked you on Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter at Marathonbet Pod, at Marathonbet Pod, which groups of fans most likely to be deceiving themselves, so lying to themselves. I'm afraid 2 or 3 clubs came out way ahead here. Infinite_254 on Twitter just said Manchester United with 3 laughing faces with tears coming out of their eyes. Cammy McManus at Camdog2020 said Rangers, and the Rangers Football Club up there in Scotland came in for a particular, I mean, of course they did, no doubt Celtic fans were getting after them. Stuart Lawson said Rangers fans, they keep telling themselves they're the same club, referring to, of course, the fact that Rangers had a change of legal status when they were bunged down the leagues. Callum Saunders said that Liverpool fans, Man United fans, he's a Liverpool fan, Manchester United fans, because they keep telling themselves they're a great club. Clearly not when they're losing 2-0 at West Ham and then 1-0 to Newcastle, 3 points above the relegation zone. Well, Callum, be careful what you wish for, of course, because one day they are 3 points above the relegation zone. The next day, Manchester United is a powerful enough institution. If they got the right manager, they have the emotional and financial pull to turn themselves around at any given time. James Lumsden also wants to laugh at poor old Manchester United fans for lying to themselves. I would say, of course, Rangers, Man United, Liverpool, whoever is in this particular barrier, all of us who are fans have a propensity for sugarcoating the truth about our own club. I know, I do it all the time.